Jai Mahamaya ki jai, Bole Baba ki jai. We're going to continue on with chapter 13 in book 10. Now we're going to hear a story about Brahmadi Devi. Narada questioned, "O wise one, who is this Brahmadi Devi? What is her nature? What for she takes birth? Kindly describe all this beautiful and pain-destroying anecdote to me. I'm not satiated yet with the drinking of the nectar of the glories of the Divine Mother. My desire to hear furthermore is as strong as ever. As the drink of the nectar takes away death, so the drink of the anecdote of the Divine Mother take away the fear of death." Narayana said, "O Narada, I will now narrate the wonderful glories of that unthinkable, unmanifested world mother leading to liberation. Here, as the mother behaves towards her children kindly and without any hypocrisy, so the world mother in all of her lives manifests her merciful, sincere dealings for the welfare of humanity. In days gone by, in the nether regions, in the city of the demons, there lived a powerful demon named Aruna. He was a furious Deva hater and a great hypocrite. With a view to conquer the Devas, he went to the banks of the Ganges in the Himalayas and practiced a very hard tapasya to Brahma, taking him to be the protector of the demons. First influenced by tamas guna, he withheld in his body the 5 vayus and partook only of dry leaves and repeated the Gayatri mantra and practiced austerities. Thus he practiced for a full 10,000 years. Then for another 10,000 years, the demon lived drinking some drops of water only. Then from another 10,000 years, he remained by inhaling air only. And then for another 10,000 years, he did not take anything and thus practiced his wonderful tapasya. Thus practicing his tapasya, a sort of wonderful halo of light emanated from his body and began to burn the whole world. This thing then appeared and a great wonder, and all the Devas then exclaimed, "Oh, what is this? Oh, what is this?" And they trembled. All were very much terrified and took refuge to Lord Brahma. Hearing all the news from the Devas, the 4-faced Brahma rode on his vehicle, the swan, and with Gayatri by his side, went very gladly to where the demon was practicing his austerities and saw that the demon was enmeshed in meditation with his eyes closed. And he looked, as it were, like a blazing fire, as if a second fire himself. His belly had become dried up, body was withered, and the nerves of his body too became almost visible. Only the life breath was lingering there. Brahma then spoke to him, "O child, now ask the boon that we wish." Hearing these gladdening nectar-like words from the mouth of Brahma, Aruna, the chief of the demons, opened his eyes and saw Brahma in front of him. Seeing Brahma before him with a rosary of beads and a kamandalu in his hand and attended by Gayatri and the 4 Vedas, muttering the names of the eternal Brahma, the demon rose up and bowed down to him and sang to him various praises. Then the intelligent demon asked from Brahma the following boon, that "I shall not die. Grant this." Brahma then gently explained to him, "O best of the demons, see that Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshvara, and Shiva and others are not free from this limitation of death. What to speak then for other? I cannot grant you a boon that is impossible even for me. What is possible and just? The intelligent persons never show an eagerness to anything that is impossible." Hearing the above words of Brahma, Aruna again said with devotion, "O Deva, if thou art unwilling to grant me the above boon, then, O Lord, grant me such a boon as it is practical that my death shall not be caused by any war, nor any arms or weapons, nor by any man or any woman, by any two-legged or four-legged, or any combination of the two, and grant me such a boon. Such a large army as I can also grant me, that I can conquer the Devas. Hearing the words of the demon, Brahma said, let it be so. So, and went back instantly to his abode. Then, puffed up with the boon, the demon Aruna called on all the other demons that lived in the nether regions. The demons, thus, were under his shelter, came and saluted him as their king, and by his command they sent messengers to the heavens to fight with the Devas. Hearing from the messengers that the demons were willing to fight with the Devas, Indra trembled with fear and went instantly with the Devas to the abode of Lord Brahma. Taking Brahma too along with them, they went to Lord Vishnu, and Lord Vishnu with them all went to the Shiva Loka. There they all held a conference how to kill this demon, the enemy of the gods, while on the other hand, Aruna, the king of the demons, surrounded by his army, went erelong to the heavens. O Muni, the demon then, through the power of his tapasya, assumed various forms and seized the rights and possessions of the moon, the sun, Yama, Agni, and all the others. All the Devas then, dislodged from their stations, went to the region of Lord Shiva, to Mount Kailash, and there, with their own trouble and dangers, spoke respectively. Then what was to be done on this subject, on this great discussion cropped up. When Brahma said that the death of the demons would not ensue from any fight with any arms or weapons from any man or woman, biped or four-legged, or from any combination of the above two, then the Devas became all anxious and could not find out a solution. At that instant, when there was an incorporeal voice, was clearly heard from the heavens. It said, let you all worship the Queen of the universe. She will carry out your work to success. If the king of the demons, always engaged in muttering the Gayatri mantra, forsakes the Gayatri mantra anyhow, then his death will occur. Hearing this gladdening celestial voice, the Devas held the council with great caution. When it was settled that what ought to be done, Indra asked Brihaspati, their guru, and said, O Guru Deva, you would better go to the demon for the carrying out of the Deva's ends, and do what he forsakes the Devi. We will all go now and meditate on her. When she will be pleased, she will help us. Thus commanding Brihaspati and thinking that the beautiful protectress, the Divine Mother, would protect them, the Devas all started to worship her, and going there began the Devi Yagya, and with great devotion muttered the Maya Bija mantra and practiced asceticism. On the other hand, Brihaspati went erelong in the garb of a Muni to the demon Aruna, the king of the demons, and then asked him, O best of Munis, whence and why have you come here? Say, O Muni, where have you come from? I am not one of your party, rather I am your enemy. Hearing the above words, Brihaspati said, when you also worship incessantly the Divine Mother Gayatri, whom we, the Devis, worship too, then how can you not be on our side? O saint, the vicious demon, hearing the above words and deluded by the Maya of the Devas, stopped saying the Gayatri mantra out of vanity, and therefore he became weak, bereft of the holy fire. Then Brihaspati, having succeeded in his work there, went to the heavens and saw Indra and told him everything in detail. The Devas became satisfied and worshipped the highest deity, O Muni. Thus a long interval passed when one day the World Mother, the auspicious Devi, appeared before them. She was resplendent with the brilliance of 10 million suns and looked beautiful like 10 millions of gods of love. Her body was anointed with variegated colors, a wonderful garland suspended from her neck. Her body was decked with various ornaments, and in the fist of her hands there were wonderful rows of bees. Her one hand was ready to grant boons, on the other was ready to hold out no fear. On the neck of the Divine Mother, the ocean of mercy, were seen the variegated garlands with large bees all around them. Those male and female bees singing incessantly all around her the Himkara mantra, the first vibration of force. Kotis of bees surrounded her. The all-auspicious Bhagavati, praised by all the Vedas, who is all in all, composed of all, who is all good, the mother of all, omniscient, the protectress of all, was adorned fully with dress. Seeing suddenly the Devi in the front of them, Brahma and the other devas became surprised, and by they got relieved and gladly began to chant the hymns and the praises of the Divine Mother, whose glories have been written in the Vedas. The Deva said, "O Devi, obeisance to thee. Thou art the highest knowledge and the creatrix, preservatrix and destructress of the universe. O thou, the lotus-eyed, thou art the refuge of all. So we bow down to thee, O Devi. Thou art collectively and individually Vishva, Tejas, Prajna, Varaj, Sutrama, O Bhagavati. Thou art the unmovable, unchangeable consciousness. So we bow down to thee, O Durga. Thou art unconcerned with the creation, preservation, and destruction, yet thou punish the wicked and art easily available by the sincere devotees of thy bhaktas. O Devi, thou scorchest and destroyest the ignorance and sins of the embodied souls. Hence thou art named Bharga. So we bow down to thee, O Mother. Thou art Kalika, Nila Saraswati, Ugratara. Thou assumest many other forms, so we are always bowed down to thee. O Devi, thou art Tripura Sundari, Bhairavi, and Rakta Dantika. Obeisance to thee, O Bhagavati. It is thou that didst appear as Lakshmi out of the milk of the ocean. Thou hast destroyed Vritrasura, and thou didst do great favors to the Devas. So, O gracious countenanced, thou art Vijaya and Ganga. O Devi, thou art earth, fire, prana, and other vayus and other substances. O merciful, thou art the form of this universe, the Deva form, and the moon and the sun, and the knowledge form. O Devi, thou art Savitri, thou art Gayatri, thou art Saraswati, thou art Swada, thou art Swaha of the Vedas, the Agamas, not this, that. Thou art what is left after the negation of all of this. Obeisance to thy sides, obeisance to thy back, obeisance to thy front, O Mother, obeisance to the above, obeisance to thy below. Obeisance to you everywhere round thee. O thou, the dweller of the Manidvipa, O Mahadevi, thou art the innumerable Brahmadas, O World Mother. Thou art best in the whole universe. Victory to thee, O Lady of the world. Thou art the mine of all gems of qualities. O Parameshvari, O World Mother, let thou be pleased unto us. Narayana continued, hearing those sweet, ready, and confident words of the Devas, the World Mother said in her sweet tone, she said, O Devas, as far as granting boons to others is concerned, I am ever ready. I am always pleased with you. So, O Devas, say what you want. Hearing the words of the Devi, the Devas began to express the cause of their sorrows. They informed her of the wicked nature of the vicious demon, the neglect of the Devas, the Brahmins, and the Vedas, and the ruins thereof, of the dispossession of the Devas of their abodes, and the receiving by the demons of the boons from Brahma. In fact, everything what they had to say, duly and vigorously. Then the Bhagavati Brahmadi Devi sent out all sorts of her bees from her sides, front and forepart. Innumerable lines of bees then were generated, and they joined themselves with those that got out of the Devi's hands, and thus they covered the whole earth. Thus countless bees began to emit from all sides like locusts. The sky was overcast with the bees, and the earth was covered with darkness. The sky, mountain peaks, trees, forests, all became filled with bees, and the spectacle presented a grand, dismal sight. Then the bees began to tear asunder the breasts of the demons, as the bees bite those who destroy their beehives. Thus the demons could not use their weapons, nor could they fight, nor exchange any words. Nothing could they do. They had no help but to die. The demons remained in the same state where they were, and in that state they wondered and died. No one could talk with one another. Then the principal demon, Aruna, died within an instant. Thus completing their destruction, the bees came back to the Divine Mother. All the people that spoke to one another said, "Oh, what a wonder! Oh, what a wonder! Whose Maya is this? What a wonder that she will do this." Thus Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva became merged in the ocean of joy, and the Devi Bhagavati, with various offerings and shoutings of chants, victory to the Devi, and showered flowers all around her. The Munis began to recite the Vedas, the Gandharvas began to sing, the various musical instruments, mridangas, and the India lutes and daksas and damarus and shanks and bells all sounded, and the three worlds were filled with their echoes. All with folded palms chanted various hymns of praise to the Devi and said, "O Mother Ishani, victory to thee." The Mahadevi became gladdened and gave to each separate boons when they asked. And then they asked for unshakable devotion to thy lotus feet. She granted them that also, and it disappeared before them. Thus I have described to you the glorious character of Brahmadi Devi. If anybody hears this wonderful anecdote, he crosses at once this ocean of the world. Along with the glories and greatness of the Devi, if one hears the accounts of the Manus, then all auspiciousness comes to him. He who hears or recites daily this greatness of the Devi becomes free from all his sins, and he gets himself absorbed in the thoughts of the Devi. Here ends the 13th chapter of the 10th book on the account of Brahmadi Devi in the Mahapuranam Srimad Devi Bhagavatam of 18,000 verses by Maharishi Veda Vyasa, and here ends as well the 10th book. Bole Baba Ki Jai, Jagdambe Mata Ki Jai, Hare Kandashvari Mata Ki Jai.